Hey everyone, how's it going? Paradox TCG here. I'm Ryan and I have a Baby Raccoon deck profile. It's probably one of the best antimatter decks this format and the last format because it's like you consistently get out Naturi Beast or even Unicorn. It's just really, really good against Necros, Cliffords, and a bunch of other stuff. So let's get started. First we have 3 Poco, basically what you want to open with. If you draw this, you summon Baby Raccoon Tantan, which I use 3 of. And Tantan starts off a lot of plays also. You can use Tantan to either summon the new support card we got recently called Bellerophon, Mystical Beast of the Forest, or you can summon Calantosa, Mystical Beast of the Forest, which destroys a monster when it's summoned by the effect of a beast-type monster. I use 2 Bellerophon. Bellerophon's effect is you can discard 1 card and summon 1 level 2 or lower beast-type monster from your graveyard. So typically, when you normal summon Poco, you set Tantan from the deck, and then you pass for your opponent. And typically, your opponent will destroy this by battle, and you'll have a monster in the graveyard by the time you get Bellerophon out. So you can discard 1 and then summon Poco. It's one of the main plays I use. Next, I use 2 Cerberus. Most people only use 1. I use 2 just because I use it more than just for getting out Unicorn. Because it can be discarded, I like to use it because it summons itself from the graveyard, because Bellerophon can easily discard it, and it'll special summon itself, and you can use it for rank 2 plays and other synchro plays. It's not just for Unicorn. 2 Wind-Up Kitten. This card is incredible with Bambi because you can bring it out multiple times per turn, because its effect can be used as many times per turn, but only once while it's on the field. So you overlay with it, put it to the graveyard by detaching it, and then activate Bellerophon, bring it back, activate its effect again, and it can just be recycled like crazy. It's very good. I use 1 Calantosa. I like Wind-Up Kitten more than Calantosa just because Calantosa, it doesn't get its effect when it's normal summoned, only when it's summoned by the effect of a beast-type monster. And once you have 1 out of your main deck, either in the hand, grave, or on the field, that's all you really need. You only need 1 because you don't really use more than 1 at a time. So yeah, you only need 1. 1 Tree Otter, it's just good for bumping up Sandayu for beefier token, and you can use it for rank 2 plays and other synchro plays and stuff. 1 Thunder King Ryo. It's a mistake on legs. I didn't like it at first, and then I used it, and it shut down my opponent like crazy. First turn I had Naturia Beast, Thunder King Ryo, and Sandayu, and my opponent, who was playing Necros, he just scooped. He couldn't do anything. So yeah, it's very good. Beast King Barbaros. I only use 1. It's easy. You can normal summon it, and it's still level 8. And then you can use either Bellerophon or Cerberus to make a Leo. And most decks can't get over Leo. It's like impossible for them to get over it, because it can't be targeted unless it's your main phase 2, and it's just a really good card. Onto the spells. We use 3 Obedient School. This is the key card for the deck. It summons 3 of the level 2 beast-type monsters from your deck. Their effects are negated, and you can't special summon anything unless it's a beast for the rest of the turn. And it's just like a godsend for this deck. Like, if you open with this and the next card, you basically have first turn that beast and double Sandayu. It's really good. And that next card is 3 Airs Rock Sunrise. It's basically the monster reborn from the deck, and its other effect is, after you do special summon from the graveyard, your opponent's monsters lose 200 points, or 200 attack for each beast type monster in your graveyard. Beast plant and winged beast monster are currently in your graveyard, so that's just a hell of a lot of damage to your opponent's monsters. It's very, very good. And if you open one of these and Obedience School, it's easily, you can make out a first turn Naturia Beast and double Sandaiyu. Next, I use 2 United We Stand. This card is almost never a dead draw. You can equip it to a Sandaiyu. Even if you have only Sandaiyu on the field, you equip this, and when you make a token, it's an automatic 2600 for both Sandaiyu and the token, which is that's a very high attack for any monster, and that can get over a lot of your opponent's stuff. It can get over Dante, Virgil. It can get over a hell of a lot of stuff, and it's just very, very good. I use 2 MST. I used to have 3. In my last video I had 3, but now that Cliffords are using less traps and Necros doesn't use any traps, it's really slowing down my deck. Like, if I top deck this and I have nothing else and I lose, like, I side it out in most games. I don't even use it all the time. Might even bump it down to 1. 1 Raigeki because it's Raigeki and you don't want your opponent to have a lot of monsters. Book of Moon, get over the Dijinlock. Valkyrus can get over a lot of stuff when it's special summoned. And you don't want them to use Bryanac's effect. When they summon Necros of Bryanak, if they summon that, they can bounce your double Sandaiyus back to your deck, so you want to Book of Moon it immediately. It's very good in this deck. And onto the traps. Triple Fiendish. It's like Breakthrough Skill, except they cannot attack. And if you have just a Sandaiyu, it's only 1000 defense. You don't want them to attack it because you'll lose your Sandaiyu and your possible tokens, so you need that to stop them. You also need 3 Mirror Force. It's very good, this format. Ever since it got put to 3, nobody's been playing it until like the last format. Yosenju's play 3. A lot of decks are playing 2 or 3 now, right now. And this deck is really good with it. It stops a lot of plays. People never see it coming. 2 mistakes. So it should be self-explanatory. This deck doesn't add anything to the hand at all. So when I summon this, or when I activate, I just shut down my opponent most of the time. Unless they have MST, which not a lot of people are running MST anymore. 1 Obs, 1 Compulse, 1 Soul Drain. None of your effects activate in the graveyard except for Cerebral. And most of the time I don't rely on Cerebral's effect, and if I have this out, it's because I'm playing against Burning Abyss or Shaddolls or something that actually uses it in the grave. Otherwise, I usually side it out, like against Necros. Yeah, against Necros, sometimes I'll side it out because their effects activate in the hand. Yeah, it's pretty good though. 1 Vanities and 1 Solemn. Onto the extra deck. The 3 Sandaiyus. Whoops, don't want that out yet. 3 Sandaiyus. The key to the deck, if you don't know what this card does, it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and once per turn you can detach and summon 1 token, and the token gains the highest, the attack of the monster that has the highest attack currently on the field. And so it works with United We Stand, because United We Stand is a continuous effect, and immediately after I get another card on the field, which is a token, my card immediately gets another 800, so a token immediately gets that 800 extra. So, like, if I have 3 monsters on the field and a Sandaiyu, and then I summon another token, it gets the 800 more from that. So yeah, the tokens are really big in this deck. That goes to Phoenix. I can use this with United We Stand also. You detach 1 and target a wind-type monster, which is itself, and it can attack twice. Cat Shark, this card just came out, and I haven't had a lot of time to test it. It's, if you don't know what it is, it's while this card has an XC material attached that was originally water, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach one XC material from this card, then target one rank 4 or lower XC monster that you control. Its attack and defense become double its original attack and defense until the end of this turn. So, that goes to Phoenix. Or no, not that goes. Tree Otter, you can use Tree Otter to overlay into this. And it's also a beast, so it won't be able to be destroyed by battle if you have Tree Otter attached to it. And it can bump up some cards. Plus United We Stand, it's an extra 1,000 for Sandalwood. It's pretty good. Downard gets rid of like dead Sandalwoods or Cat Sharks or Phoenixes. It's pretty good. Alright, so Unicorn. For the Synchros, Unicorn. Oh my lord, I love Unicorn. If you haven't seen my last video, I expressed my love for Unicorn. Unicorn is love and life. Unicorn is just ridiculously incredible. Its effect is, while you have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent, all of their effects are negated. Or when your opponent activates any card effects, they're negated and destroyed. So like you can attack into a construct, and construct's effect will activate, it'll be negated, and it will be destroyed. So yeah, it's pretty good. Naturia Beast, this card is incredible. This format is arguably the best synchro card right now. It stops pretty much all of the meta that uses spells like Necroz and Clifford's. It's incredible. You mill 2 to negate a spell. It's fantastic. Armades, it's another level 5. You can attack and they can't do anything. Cataster gets over problem cards and Necroz. Yeah, it's pretty good. Barkion, same deal as Naturia Beast. It negates traps, but you banish 2 cards from the graveyard instead of milling. And it's pretty good. The only problem is it's a dragon type, so you can't use it after you use Obedience Scold. Otherwise, it would be just absolutely broken in this deck. This deck would be like tier 0. Gaia Guardian, it's nice sometimes to just steal your opponent's cards and possibly make synchro plays with it. So yeah. And it's just a 2800 beater, like what else? Leo, this card is fantastic. You don't do much in the main phase 2 with this deck, so you don't give your opponent priority and they can't get over Leo in your main phase 2. The only thing, I think, is Necroz of Trishula doesn't target. I don't remember exactly, I might have to double check on that, but Necroz of Trishula might be able to get over this, so you need to look out for that. Other than that, Burning Abyss can't get over this. You can use this to get over Apocryphal Towers. It's pretty good. And then 1 Star Eater. I recently thought of putting Star Eater in here. I used it back in last year's format, like when Raccoons first came out, with Redox, when Redox was still available, when the deck just first came out in Redox, people were using Redox. I used it, and after Valeraphon came out, I didn't really like using it. But recently I like it just because I'm using Barbaros now, and Barbaros plus a token plus either Bambi or Cerberus equals Star Eater, and Star Eater is a 3200 beater, and it's not affected in the battle phase until after damage step, so it's pretty freaking good. And tokens, yay. And I don't have much of a side deck, but I have 2 side deck cards that I wanted to introduce. A friend told me about this tech. It's really good. It's really it's to make out Star Eater and Leo. It's if you control an Earth monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So if you have an Earth monster and a level 2 tuner, you can sync into Leo, and if you have a token, maybe even Star Eater. It's good to side these in against things like Burning Abyss or whatever that cannot get over Leo or Star Eater. So yeah. So, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, all that stuff, guys. Check out our eBay and our Facebook page. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.